Good morning. Baby's not even on full screen. There he is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. How the devil are you all doing today? It's incredibly bright in here today because I decided, you know what? I'm going to have some sunshine while I do the scoop. So the window is open. So usually I'd have like levels of shadow cast over my face like that. But today, no, we're letting the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Anyway, how are you all doing? Good morning. The time is 10 a.m. ish. It's 11:36, but it's 10 a.m. for us because we are live on twitch.tv/. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call BB. All right, pet.
Good morning. Are you saying that you're letting the sunshine in today? Your room looks so much brighter than it did before. Like, it's so much better. I'm not saying it was shit before, but when you put on lights and stuff, it looked dark. But now, obviously, you can't quite see the Ice Cream Uploads neon in the background, but your room looks so much brighter.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where I was chatting with Show after our Nintendo Direct. I can't even call it that. After we all just met up and had a chat about something else that was happening elsewhere because Nintendo's fucking content clustering policies bullshit. But anyway, enough. We'll come on to that shortly. But yeah, I was talking with Show. He's like, I thought you must have moved house or at least moved room because there was no way that I thought you were in the same room. I was like, nah, it's the same room. It's not finished yet, but it's the same room. I had like grey walls previously, so I painted them white, and the just that one neon sign, which as Bib said isn't quite tuned in for my light setup yet, so it just turns into like a big white blur there. That's actually the Ice Cream Uploads neon sign, but yeah, just that adds so much light into the room. I've got a better blind. You know, I'll turn the light off for a second just so you can see. Like that pumps out so much light in, but even with that off, the room itself just looks. I'm stuck. I'm tangled around my chair. The room just looks good. It looks good. But yeah, nice. Hopefully we'll get the Nanoleaf. So the Nanoleaf is still on the floor down here. I have an Ethernet cable arriving today, which means that I can put my channeling and my trunking and stuff on the walls over here. Once that's on, I can put my Nanoleaf up, and then we can kind of like, it's kind of like dominoes, get one thing to change one thing to do the one thing, which allows me to do the next thing. So hopefully next few days, by next weekish, we should be good. But nice.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in the chat. Switch Pro confirmed, says ads. Ish. Good morning, Lake. Good morning, Next Gen Base. Actually, do you know, on that bombshell, I'll use that as a jumping off point. We received some presents from Next Gen Base this morning, and I'll show you. So first up, we have. These are the champions. I'm going to sing this all the way through, by the way. Brace yourself. I'm not really. So, got the bronze PlayStation trophy. Then we have...
Got many of them.
Which wrong way around. This is the silver PlayStation trophy. Nice. Got a few less of them. The gold PlayStation trophy. Okay, now we're starting to get into the rare territory now. And then finally, we have... the ever-elusive platinum PlayStation trophy. And as I mentioned to Ben from Next Gen Base this morning, only the second ever platinum I've ever had. PUBG was my first. This is my second and my only other one that I've ever had. So now I am the proud owner of PlayStation trophies. So we've got those. But that's not where it stops. Obviously, that's the PlayStation side of things. Maybe you're an Xbox user. Maybe you want like an Xbox. Do you know, I wish I had the Xbox noise activation so I could just go like this. Boop. Oh, wrong place. No, I can't get my tool. There we go. But I'll hold it up so you can see what it says. Achievement unlocked. 2021 gamer score. Stay frosty. Yeah. How cool is that? So shout out to Ben, and there you go, baby, doing the exclamation mark 3D. So if you would like any of these, no spawn. Obviously, technically, we are hashtag gifted. Although, do you still put that if you get it from your buddy? You probably do. But Ben sent us some cool stuff over. And if you were after any little 3D printed trophies, your own customized Xbox Gamerscore stuff, then check out that link in the chat. Nice. Exclamation mark 3D to get the link. Cheers, Ben. I appreciate that. So if you don't know where they came from, Next Gen Base, who is in the chat and was involved in the streams with us over the weekend for E3. This is one of the things that Ben does. So nice. And he does some cool stuff for charity as well with it. I've seen him do... is it Lincoln City Stadium, Ben? is that what you've been printing off? 3D printing my God, stadiums. I don't know if I said the word properly at all in there, but that's what I meant to say. You've been printing 3D printed stadiums for charity, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. But anyway, thank you very much. I am actually going to have to shut that blind now because as much as I wanted the sunlight,
Bro.
I'm just getting washed out. Ooh, he says.
Oh, welcome to Ice Cream Uploads, ladies and gentlemen. We go live each and every single weekday, and you can see Graham leaning and walking around his room, doing some new stuff, shouting wild things like Abe Simpson shouting at clouds.
Old man shouts at cloud. What's up? Is that your postman? Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
I think I've just heard the front door go.
Bibby's trophies.
We'll see.
Oh, it's exciting times.
Who knows?
Let me carry on the run through the chat just to make sure that we've got everything. Gad says, good morning, James. Good morning to you, sir. Ad says, spent 2 hours this morning rewatching Breath of the Wild 2 for a video. Did it do everything you needed it to do? I know it got you emotional yesterday. Did you get re-emotional? Is that a word today? What are your thoughts, Ads? Obviously, gonna be on the Switch Pro. Yeah, re-emotional. There you go. Nice. Totes Rimosh. Tito says, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Ad says, it was as shit as Capcom's conference, Kappa. The sun won't last. We live in the UK. Do you know what? Apparently, after today, it's supposed to turn into torrential, like downpour, thunderstormy sort of stuff. Mr. T says, Domino's pizza? I don't know why you've put that. I can't remember when Domino's was mentioned. Ad says, NGB needs to stream. I love that chap. Hashtag not sponsored. Tino says, hashtag ad commands, exclamation mark, ads. No, the Switch Pro has not been confirmed. It's a Switch Mini Lite dual screen. Touche. Forward-looking texture 5. Oh my God, we've just been follow botted. Let me just turn my follows. I think I've just turned follows off. It might be too late. If it is, let me see.
Can you turn the browser source off?
There we go. I think Let's see. Did that get it? I think that might have got it.
Just follow botting us.
I don't know. The worst thing
it's
is
still going.
Fuck's sake, you loser. Okay. Let me jump into the split screen then for now. Turn off alert box. That should hopefully get rid of it, I think. For now. I need to remember that we don't have alert box on for the next time we do something. But we appreciate it.
Oh my God, it's still going.
Fake people. Thank you very much for the millions and millions of follows. I mean, I'm going to...
Yeah, go emote only. There we go. I can do it.
Get trolled by not bots. Have you got it?
I'm trying.
I've turned it on.
Can't do follow only. Emotes only. Here we go.
I've turned follower only on. Have you done emote only?
I've done subscribers only for the time being as well. I apologize. We'll sort that out in like the next 10-15 minutes. I apologize to all you non-subscribers, but it's just what it is for the time being because there is some bellends that have followed botted us.
Yeah, imagine. So yes, yeah. Apologies. You know, I'll turn follower off because you turned it to
subscriber.
Yeah. So sub only should be fine. Sub only should be fine as long as it's sub only. So apologies for anyone that is a follower that isn't a sub. This is absolutely a ploy just to get you all to subscribe to the channel right here, right now in the morning. Thank you very much. But yes, sadly there's some losers in the world. But there you go. McWalls420 redeemed ask a question. Oh, fire away. Why am I a bot? is that what it's going to be? But yeah, that's a shame. It's a shame to see that people, like, we're all sat here talking about how nice it is to have people giving little cool things that they've done with their time and how they've devoted time to charity, and then that happens. But you know what? We kind of were prepped for it. We knew it was coming at some point in time. So there you go. £15 orders incoming. And you're welcome, lad, says Next Gen Base. Life size, says Ads. Yes, mate, did a run of stadiums and the profit went to the club. Nice. Bibby ordered a huge purple dildo, question mark. What, 3D printed? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
That's for the anniversary.
Anyway, do you know what? This is as good a time as any to sack off all of the bots and just give you a reminder that my name is Graham Day. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, we're going to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you are live in the chat and not a bot, please feel free to get involved. Hopefully we will have the follow spam stopped shortly so we can turn it back to follower only chat so everyone can get involved. Sadly for now, it will be on subscriber only if you are watching live on Twitch. So some of you will be able to get involved with your thoughts and impressions. Hopefully we can open up the doors so everyone else can get involved too. We do go live on Twitch, which is where we are right now at 10 a.m.-ish each and every single weekday. 10 a.m.-ish. It's 10 a.m. is what we aim for, but we work in the video games industry. It can be pretty flexible around that, as you can tell, because it's now 11:46, but you get the idea. 10 a.m.-ish. Anyway, if you are live with us, do get involved because we turn the live stream into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So lots and lots of places where people can get involved and watch and listen on demand. That's what I'm going to say, but they don't get involved in the chat, and that's where you kind of need to do it on their behalf. So if you are in the chat, please feel free to get involved. A couple of things before we get into the show. ! 3D. If you want to bag yourself some 3D things, nice. That wasn't going to be in the script, but Ben's just a G. So yeah, if you want some 3D printed trophies, some custom achievements or anything like that, ! 3D, that'll give you the link through to Winstano's 3D Impressions UK Etsy store. You can fill your boots there. As well as that, ! loot drop, just to remind you that if you're a sub, you could get a free prize every month. ! Insert coin. They make the hoodie that I'm wearing. And ! Muscle Moose. They make nice, refreshing drinks. Do you know what? We haven't really spoken about Muscle Moose too much recently, but this isn't a sales plug, by the way. I feel like I'm getting back into full Muscle Moose hype again now because the sun's out, because it's warm in this room, and because I've got a fridge with cold cans that's easily accessible right next to me. I feel like the Muscle Moose hype train is starting up again for me. So nice. But anyway, if you did want to get any Muscle Moose, we don't earn any money off it, so it's not a spawn, it's not an ad, but we can get you. Is it 25%? I think it is off all purchases on Muscle Moose website. ! Muscle Moose in the chat. Don't have to do it. We don't earn anything, so it doesn't matter. You don't
to the panels as well.
Yeah, nice. So we don't earn. We're not spawn. We don't earn off that. It's just if you did want to get something, it is really nice, genuinely really nice. Fill your boots, get 25% off, or just don't. It's up to you. Okay, let's try take off emote only and sub only stuff.
Want me to do it?
Let's give it a go. I'm going to put follow alerts back on. We haven't had any new followers for 5 minutes. Apparently. Nice
stuff.
It looks like we're okay. It looks like we're safe. Okay, well, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Nice. Okay, first off, Disney was cautious about letting Ubisoft make an MMO game. Okay, well, that is the lead story. You may have seen that already. That is what we're going to head things off with in today's show. We will then follow that with PSVR 2 is reportedly being planned for the end of the next year. Not this year, next year, but we'll come into that. Battlefield 2042 uses bots because, do you know what? I think that's good because nobody is playing Battlefield 2042 right now, so they need the bots. Dead game. It's not out. It's a joke. Calm down. As well as that, you can now finally buy Cyberpunk on the PS Store once again with caveats, but we'll come on to that at the end of the show. First things first, though, we're kicking off with the head story. This is absolutely not me filling for time, but Bibby, would you like to play a Star Wars MMO game?
Yes.
Nice. That's good input. That's perfect. That's all I needed. Sean Murray at The Gamer says that Disney was cautious about letting Ubisoft make a Star Wars MMO, but an Avatar meeting convinced it. Good filling there, babe. That was world class.
Cheers. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Disney wasn't about to let just anyone make the new Star Wars MMO, but it was convinced after a meeting with Ubisoft about the upcoming Avatar game. Sean Murray at The Gamer has this article. Ubisoft is working on a new Star Wars MMO, in case you hadn't heard. It was announced earlier this year, along with the news that Disney Disney was revoking EA's exclusive license deal to create a Star Wars video game, and Ubisoft Massive had been tapped to take Star Wars into the future with an all-new open-world game. But Disney didn't immediately turn to Ubisoft when it came to give someone else, when it came time to give someone else the Star Wars license. In a new interview with IGN, Disney Games Senior Vice President Sean Tao said that the company was wary of handing over such a lucrative license to just anyone, and it took them some convincing to go with Ubisoft Massive. Quote, "We really wanted the Star Wars game to come at the right time with the right partner," Shoptaw said. "The worst thing we could do is do it wrong and do it our way that doesn't... What? And do it... Okay. I feel like that should be our way, but I'm going to read it as I could be wrong. Okay, the worst thing that we could do is do it wrong and do it in a way that doesn't resonate with fans or doesn't meet that bar. Disney wasn't even initially thinking about Ubisoft for the next Star Wars game. Shoptaw recounts how he was initially meeting with Ubisoft Massive to talk about the upcoming Avatar game, but during that meeting, he was convinced by Massive's passion for the franchise. Quote, "That first meeting we had with Massive around the Avatar game after we acquired Fox was really the jumping off point for the Star Wars game. There was such alignment and such creative passion around the Star Wars IP from that team that it just was a natural evolution to the relationship and really led to the Star Wars game we announced not too long ago. We don't know much about the still untitled Star Wars game, but rumors are that it'll be an open world MMO game of some kind. Fans have long been asking for such an open world Star Wars game, other than Star Wars The Old Republic, apparently, and Massive's upcoming game could be just what the fans want. But that Star Wars game won't come until after Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which was just officially announced at Ubisoft Forward last Saturday. That game is due out in 2022 and might feature some of the gameplay elements that will find their way into the upcoming Star Wars MMO. So, a couple of questions. Before we jump into Star Wars, did you see Ubi Forward? Obviously, for those of you that were watching our content over the weekend, I say our content, it was the one show that didn't have me or Bib on it at all. That was hosted on Mr. T's channel. It had Nico and Show on it as well. The Ubisoft Forward coverage on Saturday. Did you see any of that? And did you see Avatar Frontiers of Pandora?
First of all, I'd thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciate it. Long overdue. Thank you, Free, is what he puts in the comments. We very much appreciate that, mate. You absolute shagger.
Let me just hit replay on that because it didn't seem to...
Yeah. Is it? I think I've still got the browser source off.
Touche. Correct. Nice. Well played. Let me try again.
Stay frosty.
Nice
Long overdue. Thank you, Free.
Okay, you were saying, Bib?
Go. So I did see the Avatar game. I was out and I only caught like the last 20 minutes or maybe 25 minutes of the Ubisoft one. And I didn't see the Star Wars game get announced, so I'll have to go back and I will watch that one at some point. But yeah, an MMO, a Star Wars game, it does interest me. I never played the original MMO version. Was it Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
I never got to play that one. I know Willis, good friend of mine, he was obsessed with that game and played it a stupid amount of time. Like, he's just obsessed with MMOs in general, like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy Online, games like that. He really enjoyed Star Wars and he kept on recommending it to me. I just never got around to playing it, but it all depends on how the MMO works. Like, what kind of MMO is it? Is it like just a massive multiplayer online world, which is obviously what MMO stands for? Or is it going to be the traditional, you have a bar at the bottom, you have cooldowns, you have buffs? I need to know what kind of Star Wars game it's going to be. Is it going to be just an open world like hack and slash in terms of you've got your weapons with you like lightsabers? It all depends on what kind of game it's going to be, whether or not it takes my attention. But I mean, an open world Star Wars game, does that mean that you're just going to be restricted to one planet? Are you going to be able to travel? Like, what does it look like? That's what I need to know before I say yes. I mean, I would love to play a Star Wars game, but it all depends on what it's going to give us, because that'll be the make or break as to whether or not I'm interested in it or not.
Yeah, I think kind of same for me. Did anyone else see the Frontiers of Pandora Avatar stuff? What did you guys think of that? I mean, I can't quite remember now because I was watching it first thing Saturday morning when I was still in bed, as you guys know, because I WhatsApped you all a picture of me just laying in bed with the screen on the wall. Nice. But did it show gameplay or was it just trailer stuff? I think in my mind I'm thinking it was just trailer stuff as opposed to gameplay. I could be wrong. Anyway, I mean, that will give us some ideas. I mean, the article says that will give us some ideas of what we're looking at for Star Wars. But the fact that it's an open world MMO, that's not a very descriptive thing in today's world. Open world MMO 10 years ago could have been something pretty bespoke, but open world, massive multiplayer online, that could be pretty much any game in essence. Well, anything that's been released by Ubisoft anyway for the last 10 years. So it does, it excites me. It genuinely excites me in that sort of sense. But yeah, I mean, Avatar, I'll keep an open mind about. I know some people love the film, some people hate the film, and I know there's a new film coming. I'm quite open to the idea of Avatar. It was a nice big bombastic AAA film, so I expect a nice big bombastic AAA game. If they can tell a decent enough story with it, then that's fine by me. So yeah, that will give us a hint of what we should be looking forward to for Star Wars. I hope this is a properly thought through, mutually beneficial, content driven relationship and not just a commercial venture. Because this article is either truth or is a bit of fluff. It's a bit of spin, because Ubisoft have a shitload of money. Disney like to earn a shitload of money and have titles that are worth a shitload of money and can generate a shitload of money. So Ubisoft working with Disney on Avatar and Star Wars, and then going, oh, we weren't going to work with them on Star Wars. Not that we weren't not going to work with them, but we weren't definitely going to work with them. And then when we saw how good they were, we decided that we'd go with them. That's kind of like one of those, yeah, but is that real? That's one of those comments that you'll get. So-and-so director of so-and-so brand in press release says, they are the perfect brand for us. They have the same achievements and goals for their brand, or they I expect nothing but the best for their brand, which is what we do. That you could change that sort of shithouse statement for any director of any company when they work with any other company on a collaboration ever. My brand is perfectly aligned with their brand. They want the best, and so do we. So we're going to work well together. Convergence, nice, yeah. Okay, well, that's kind of what that statement is. Avatar was something that they were already talking about, and we saw their passion. They were aligned with our passion, so we're going to work together. What you mean is, okay, well, they offered a big wedge of cash, and that spoke pretty well to our finance team. So we said, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So that once we've seen Avatar, we'll have an idea of whether this is actually decent. It does genuinely come as a little bit of a shame for me, because we spoke about it previously, how EA had a Star Wars exclusive for, was it 5 years, 7 years, and a million years? I don't remember how many, a number of years, and dropped the ball significantly in that time. Star Wars Battlefront 1 only having single player, Star Wars Battlefront 2 having only having multiplayer, I should say. Star Wars Battlefront 2 having single player, but then ruining the multiplayer for everyone for 2 years. And then after, like, when they finally get to the point where they think, okay, we've got the Star Wars IP, we don't just have to do Battlefront, we can do actual story games alongside it, and we can fix Star Wars with the Celebration Edition of Battlefront 2, which it, for all intents and purposes, was a brand new game and nailed it. EA finally figured out how to do video games without being shit, but using the Star Wars IP, and then it kind of got, not that it was taken away from them, but they kind of found it out to other people. Was that a case of EA finally learned what they were doing, or was that a case of EA going, oh shit, if we don't fucking book our ideas up, they're just going to take everything away from us and give it to someone else? Either way, we got EA to a good point, and now they're starting to throw it around a bit. So that either means that now we've got a bit of competition, people are going to work a bit harder, people are going to create games a little bit smarter rather than just trying to get the fast buck now. Or it means that we have to go through all of those years of bumbling and false starts that we've had with EA, but we have to do that with Ubisoft, and then we have to do that with whoever else gets the license to develop a game. Hopefully it's the former. Hopefully the competition gives us better games rather than we just get false starts again. Let me jump back through. Don't we already have Star Wars Knights MMO, says Tito. Yes, but it's not new. in terms of it's something that still exists and has a passionate following, but it's not something that will kind of generate for new fans. It's usually old fans, lapsed fans, and it's not really pulling anything in. So I think that's kind of the angle that they're going for. Tito then says it's a strange move this for Ubisoft. They retain value in their products normally by using the IP they own. With their foray into Star Wars, Mario, Avatar, and other licensed IPs, it's a real change of business model. It is. That's a good shout. Like, I mean, Assassin's Creeds and complete mental block now. Watch Dogs, that's the name of it. There we go. Assassin's Creeds, the Watch Dogs, whatever else Ubisoft working on. Salford Sirens, nice. That's all. That's where Ubisoft kind of work. I mean, an Assassin's Creed game every year ish, and does a very good job of churning money. Not necessarily the best job of being the perfect game, even though they are kind of getting better recently. That, like you say, that's their business model. But they also know that they need to get better with their content. So, like talking about Assassin's Creed not being perfect, Ubisoft and Yves Guillemot at the end of the the investor calls have been saying that they need to not develop better, but develop smarter. Make games that they don't have to develop a game every year, a Ubisoft every 12 months. If they delay that and give a better quality Ubisoft, then that could be more beneficial to their teams and their profit margin. So maybe this is part of that developing smarter. Next Gen Base says makes sense that they pulled the exclusivity from EA. There's some good looking games that got canned. Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. It does make sense because, like I said, EA, who enjoyed Star Wars Battlefront 2 at launch? Nope, did think so.
It was only really when they brought the Champions Edition out that I think people actually got into it.
Yeah, and that was exceptional. That was genuinely, like, we've got a lot of Star Wars fans in the office of different levels. I think most of us in the office are very open to Star Wars, but then we have some big Star Wars fans in the office. And even the big Star Wars fans weren't playing Star Wars Battlefront until they released that. Was it the Celebration Day? Whatever. The special edition that gave you all of the extra modes and gave you access to all the content and gave you different heroes and stuff or whatever. Basically, it fixed a lot of the errors that they should have had, that they shouldn't have had initially. And then that's when it got played in our office. This is obviously pre-lockdown, but the team in the office were using their lunch breaks not to play PUBGs and Fortnites and whatever. At that point in time, it was, okay, we'll load up this 2-year-old game of Star Wars and we'll play some of this now. So, yeah. Taking that exclusivity takes away that safety net, and I think EA were kind of resting on their laurels there. Well, we've got 5 years of this, so it doesn't really matter. What are Disney going to do? Are they going to fuck us off when we paid billions? And then when they got to that point when Disney nearly fucked them off despite them paying billions, it was like, oh shit, oh snap, oh fucking hell, Star Wars, the game has nearly shit on the movie, and that cannot happen. EA, you better sort this shit out. So yeah, they did then finally. But yeah, well, do you know what? We've still got EA in the race. We had Jedi Fallen Order, Game of the Year, a couple of years ago for me. So if we get a sequel to that of that caliber and better, in my mind, I hope EA are trying to get some form of exclusivity again, because that means that they would have to overperform massively to get that conversation back again. I mean, or overpay. But if they overperform and give us Jedi Fallen Order 2 and 3 in some mega trilogy and give us Star Wars Battlefront 3 that has everything perfectly fixed and weighted and balanced, and then at that point EA have gone, okay, look at our acumen now in the Star Wars universe. Okay, at that point, I'll look at exclusivity again. But until then, do you know what? It can get out. Let's just see what Ubisoft can do. Let's see what the Star Wars MMO is. Let's see what EA finally bring to the table. Let's see who else has a go. And then eventually, maybe we just get one game that is Fortnite, but without the building or the circle and just the lightsaber action. Just give us that. Yes, please. I'll take that again. Because that's what we need. Just a good lightsaber battler. That's it.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, let's move ahead. That was the first start. All that time, and I didn't even have that on the screen. Ubisoft making a Star Wars MMO, exclamation mark? I mean, we kind of knew that already, but it was the fact that Disney were a bit cautious about them having it. Kind of a non-story in itself. I mean, it's either a story of Disney going, oh, you're a bit shit, but we'll give it you anyway, or it's do you know what? You had ambition and we had ambition and we're perfectly aligned. And it's like, yeah, we know. Yeah, so make of it what you will. But either way, the key thing to take away is just a reminder that Star Wars is coming out from multiple developers. Ubisoft will get their go. And it's good to see Ubisoft a very, very creative outlet. So hopefully we see that. Did we get a date for that, actually? Was it this year? Was it next year? Or are we still just kind of 2022. There we go.
It was next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
2022, which absolutely wasn't a tedious link, because something else that's coming out in 2022 is the PlayStation VR 2, reportedly being planned for holiday 2022. This is posted by Chris Scullion at VGC, and it says a new report claims the headset will use Samsung OLED panels. Actually, let me stop for just a second, because I know that Bib did call it out, but I just want to call it out again. Ads, thank you very much for the long overdue. My God. I'm joking. Thank you very much for 8 whole months. How can you be long overdue when you've subscribed to the channel for 8 months? That's almost the amount of time it takes to bring a person to life. So thank you very much. It says thank you for E3. Thank you. He also says Cyberpunk is not on the UK store still. We'll come to that. Calm down, mate. So yeah, 2022 we're talking about, and PlayStation VR planning a release for the holiday of 2022. Jumping into the actual meat of the article, Sony is reportedly planning to release the successor to the PSVR in the 2022 holiday season. A new Bloomberg report claims that Sony is, quote, aiming to release the successor in the holiday period next year. The report, which cites, quote, people with knowledge of the matter, who ask not to be named, also states that Sony will be using OLED panels created by Samsung for the next PSVR headset. The original PSVR, released in 2016, also had OLED displays in each eye, which delivered a 960 by 1080 resolution image to each eye. Sony has already stated that its successor will display at an improved resolution. PlayStation first announced it was working on a next-gen VR system designed for PS5 earlier this year, and Sony's next iteration, PSVR headset, will feature, quote, dynamic leaps in performance and interactivity, it said in an announcement in February, and will allow players to feel, quote, an even greater sense of presence and become even more immersed in their game worlds, end quote. A month later, it revealed the new controllers for the PS5 VR system, which have an orb-shaped design and feature adaptive triggers and haptic feedback like the PS5's DualSense controller there on the screen now, if you are watching this on the video services. The headset, which will launch beyond 2021, will feature improved resolution and field of view tracking, Sony Interactive Entertainment's Nishino said at the time. We're taking what we've learned since launching PSVR on PS4 to develop a next-gen VR system that enhances everything from resolution and field of view to tracking and input, he explained. It will connect to PS5 with a single cord to simplify setup and improve ease of use, while enabling a high-fidelity visual experience. Currently, the existing PSVR headset operates as a backwards-compatible device on PS5, and launch window games PS5 games? The fuck? Okay, nice. I'm guessing that's trying to say that they will support launch window PS5 games, plus No Man's Sky and Hitman 3 only support VR in their PS4 versions. Okay. So you kind of, there's a message in there. I'll let you guys decipher what that's supposed to say, but yes, there you go. Some games are supported, some aren't. PS5's camera peripheral won't work with PSVR either, and users need to request a free adapter in order to connect it. Sony said in January 2020 that PSVR sales had topped 5 million units since the headset launched in October 2016. Babe, I know you like VR. I know you're open to the idea of VR. Holiday 2022?
Very much so.
Further away than you expected, or is that about right?
I thought it could be this year. They would have had over a year to develop this. I mean, they would have had more than that, because I knew that the PlayStation 5 was coming out. It wasn't going to be a surprise to people that the PlayStation 5 was coming out inside the company last year. So I would have thought it would have been holiday this year. But I mean, this is going to be a very, very costly product anyway. I mean, if you was to try and buy the PlayStation VR now, I still think it's about £300 brand new. And I don't even know if you get the Move controllers with that as well, and the camera. So with all the high-tech performance that's going to be put into this, I can imagine it being more expensive than the console itself. However, if you are a proper VR buff, this is decent. I just think there's better options out there currently I don't think PlayStation will still be able to touch them. Like the Oculus 2, I think is a fantastic piece of hardware, and I think that's only £300 now, and it's wireless. I
Wireless,
don't think
yeah.
this is going to be wireless.
No, they've said single wire on this Oculus 2
Yeah.
wireless. You can just play that without being plugged into your PC. Obviously, you can plug it in for better opportunities, but yeah.
I think with the Oculus as well, because you can use it without the wires, it's got its own operating system and stuff like that. But I think you can plug it into your PC to be able to play Steam games and stuff like that
Yeah,
on it. So
can.
you've got two different, you've got two different operating systems to be able to download and play games on, or just play them through your PC. That's something that PlayStation I don't think will be able to touch, and it definitely goes towards the hardcore there. I mean, the games will be fantastic that comes out with if you could potentially get the use of a steering wheel in a game while using the headset. I think that will be fantastic for racing games. I think that will be so immersive. I just think it's going to be a very expensive piece of kit when there's other better piece of kit out there for a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, you got to feel that a steering wheel, though, should be something easy enough to put in. The only thing you need is some form of either a light sensor or a motion tracker, so your headset knows where it is in relation to so where they are. So when you've got the move controllers in your hand, your headset knows where your hands are, either from light bits or from a sensor on the front or whatever. Same thing with the steering wheel. All your headset needs to know is if you turn your head to the side, that the steering wheel is over to the left, or if you turn your head to the other way, then the steering wheel in relativity is over to the right of it, kind of thing, and down a bit, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's all kind of all it needs, really. So, yeah, surely that sort of stuff, even if it's just like a little sensor strip thing that you just stick on the top of your steering wheel so that it knows where it is. I mean, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, my biggest gripe with PlayStation 4 VR was the resolution. I don't believe for a second what they're saying in there was that it was 1080. I mean, it was 960 by 1080. Fair enough, but if I was to play Resident Evil on VR and then Resident Evil on a normal screen, it was so blurry on the PlayStation VR. Like it was doing my head in. It was that blurry. That a lot of the games. Well, there was Arizona Sunshine was the best one that I think I played on that, and there was I think it was even a free game. It was a Modern Warfare when we flying around in space. That was pretty cool. But Arizona Sunshine was fire. Like that was such a good game. But like some of the games just look so blurry. So hopefully with the Samsung OLED screens where you're going to be getting an increased resolution, I hope that gives us a better experience. Because I said the Oculus one that my sister's got, that is unreal. It looks so good. It looks so much better than the PlayStation.
I've just put a link in the chat. It's very important. That's a link to us having VR in the studio. And it absolutely is not me just sticking ones up while baby couldn't see me. That is the best thing about people playing PSVR. Yeah. The ability to stealthily do this is the single best thing about having VR units inside the Ice Cream Upload studio. Nice. And then if you scroll down, you can see me doing the exact same thing with Mr. Mark Bamber and Miss Kirsty Jennings as well from the team. Philly Boots. But yeah, this is good. I am a bit disappointed that we have to wait till the end of next year, purely because I thought if they're showing us the controllers early this year, we're not waiting to be able to use them until the end of this year. It's to the end of this year plus an extra year. That just seems daft. Like holiday 2022. Yeah. I mean, on the flip side, 400 quid. There was a comment. Let me scroll back up and find it from Asim. Where are we? Ooh, scroll. No. There we go. Dynamic leap in performance and interactivity means give us £400, please. Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, wait until next year. That could be a result of the stock shortages. If nobody can get a PS5 and they're all having to spend fecking 800 quid at CEX to get hold of one, then maybe they've delayed it because no one's going to buy this when it first comes out. And if nobody buys it and suddenly Curry's, Shop to Smiths and all the rest suddenly get PSVR backing up, they will stop buying it, which means that they start to get stock backing up in warehouses and things, and then that means they start undercutting it and it starts losing money and then they stop supporting it and stuff. So maybe holding it back till 2022 when they've got the PS5 install base to a sufficient level, or people have just had a year to buy the PS5, so they've got time to be able to save up that extra 400 quid because you're buying a new console, basically, 400 quid. So 400 quid's a lot of money for
You
someone.
think 400 quid? Did he say 400 quid in this?
No, that's just guesses based off of like better screens and things like that.
6 ton this easy. 6 ton.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, it absolutely could be because of the technology, the screens, and the movement stuff, and all the rest in it. So, but giving, let's say it was 400 quid. If you ask someone to pay 450 quid, a lot of people going, 450 quid for a video game console when you've got a video game console at home. And it's like that mum dad video game console at home meme kind of thing. That's like, okay, 450 quid. But then asking them to spend 800 quid, 900 quid, £1,000 to get it to come with a VR. Nah, you're all right. I'll just get the console. I won't even bother with the console. If I need that to play that, then I'll just stick with the PS4 at home. So
Yeah.
I'd rather have it this year because I'm impatient. I want it now. But it makes sense. It does make sense. Move it till next year means that people get the PS5, get time to get to use the PS5 before you're asking them then to spend another 400 to 600 quid on an extra device. Yeah, it makes sense. Tito says haptic triggers. Does that mean I'll feel the resistance on them? For example, when pulling back the string on a bow, which then leads me to do this. Oh my god! Somebody mentioned a bow and using the haptic feedback on a PlayStation controller. Oh my god! That's nice. I appreciate the tie in there. GG's Tito. Ad says Tito or pulling something else. Nobody use ads as PSVR, by the way. Just saying. Next Gen Base says, I prefer the PSVR headset, but the range of games on PC is better. It'll do inside-out tracking for that stuff, I think. I mean, that's the thing. Like, so you've got a better range of games. You've got Half-Life Alyx on other options. The quality of some of the other games is like the PSVR ceiling is much lower than the ceiling that you can get on VR on PC, or it is at the moment anyway. So it's not perfect, but PSVR, I kind of feel like the VR industry needs PSVR to be successful, or Xbox's equivalent when they finally release that. You kind of need a leader to drag it along, and Oculus sadly has the PlayStation has the Facebook effect, so that's kind of like hampered a little bit. So yeah, the Valve Index and things like that, okay, maybe that's the other one that's kind of gonna push it. I mean, what was the other one, the HTC Vive? Have they done anything with theirs? Have they given up on theirs? Because I know they had obviously quite a big surge, but then has it disappeared? So you kind of need something like PS4 to be the figurehead, to move the industry forward.
The Index was a grand though.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that was
that was different technology though, wasn't it? Like being able to put a glove on and being able to use your feet, like each individual finger had its own motion sensor. That was like a different breed of VR.
If anyone clips at the right segment there will just be me and you sat with our hands up, waving fingers around. yeah. Because that's what it is.
That was a different breed.
Someone talks about a controller, fine. Someone talks about PSVR, fine. Talk about Oculus Rift, fine. Talk about Valve Index, and you are physically compelled to hold your hand up and wiggle your fingers around because that's the universal sign for Valve Index. There you go. Chappers says it's coming home. Nice. It's coming home. Coming home. Nice. Welcome in, Chappers. How's things do? Lake says the scoop in VR. Do you know what? When the industry pushes forward to that level, we'll do some VR shows. We'll get like 3D setups made, and you can all we'll do Jerry Springer, like a fucking Jeremy Kyle kind of thing. We'll sit on the stage, and we'll get like an audience like seating area made up. You all go take a seat, and we'll make it so that you can just wander in and sit down in a digital audience while we'll sit there digitally on the stage. This is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There you go. People won't pay that much on top of the console cost. It has to be £200 max, otherwise people won't invest. Asim says at least 400, realistically 500, and then Tita says how much did the PS4 VR cost? Was that like 350, something like that? 250, 350? I can't remember which ones are pre-owned prices, or maybe 450. I can't remember, but it was about the same cost as the console. But that's the thing. Tito has a good point, and this is the 350, says Mr. T. Nice. So this is the issue that we have with PSVR coming to consoles, because consoles are cheap. you might not think it, 450 quid for a console, but for the amount of tech and what that does, consoles are cheap. For you buy yourself a new TV, it will cost more than your console. You buy yourself your new home entertainment electronics device, it will probably cost you more than a console, unless you're buying something mid-level or whatever. But to buy a top spec, like brand new state of the art gaming console, in comparison to other things that you will purchase in your life, it's pretty cheap. And VR is not something that could be subsidized in that sort of stuff, because the tech in it is so groundbreaking and it has so many different components that aren't yet cheap enough because they're not used in all areas of other home electronics. VR isn't something that can be subsidized, and that's where you get the awkward trade-off. Is the video games industry knows that 300 to 500 quid is fine. Beyond that is expensive, even though technically, realistically, it's not. Your iPhone that you use is 1,200 quid, but your PlayStation's only 450. My God, and that's where the awkward balance is the games industry needs to sell it at enough to make money for it to be worthwhile, but also not sell it at what it should be sold at, because nobody will buy it. So, like you say, people won't pay that much on top of the console cost. You're selling a peripheral, even though it's not. It's basically a brand new system that sits on top of your system. People won't spend above and beyond. Well, I'm buying an accessory that costs more than it. I wouldn't buy an air freshener for my car that costs me $1,000 more than my car costs. So why would I do it? Well, it's not an air freshener. It's like buying a car and then like buying an aircraft carrier and sitting your car on top of it. That's kind of what it is. It's a completely different thing. But yeah, dare I suggest Connect? It's a wonderful piece of technology. Connect was years ahead of itself in essence. It wasn't perfect. I had one and didn't really use it that much. But the software and the hardware, exceptional. Yeah, exactly like Tito just said. Great product, game-changing. Casual console gamers didn't want it. Phenomenal. To the point where the trading value of a Kinect, if you was getting rid of it, was stupidly high, because it had so many uses. Developers and things outside of gaming were buying Kinects when they were going cheap, when they're getting rid of them, because the hardware in it was wonderful and had so many potential uses. But yeah, like you say, it needs to be something that people want. And I think VR is something that people want. I think VR is what the world desires. I mean, we spoke about the multiverse of Fortnite and the like before. Fortnite having a game and having social areas and having concerts that you watch and brand placements and stuff like that. That convergence of a multiverse. We are stepping closer towards the world of Ready Player One. So VR is definitely something that will be weaved into that. I would be shocked if it isn't. I always thought 3D was just a bit of a gimmick, because 3D was promising VR, but it wasn't. It was more like NAF AR, non-interactive AR. But VR is fully interactive and immersive. So VR is something that people do want and will come. It's just a matter of people don't know they want it until they want it. Like, do I want 3,000 songs in my pocket? No, but when people start using iPods back in the day, oh fuck yeah, I do actually want that many songs that I can take. I mean, I thought just having one cassette that I turned over, so I got 40 minutes of audio, that was enough. But now I've got days worth of it. People want it, they just don't know they want it. But until that point, you have to get them. You have to get them to the point where they realize that not only do they want it, but they also want to pay for it. And PSVR is the thing I think that is best placed to start to push that forward, because Oculus Rift, extravagant purchase. I don't even have a gaming PC. Okay. Valve Index, same thing. PSVR, well, I've got a PlayStation, so maybe. So that could be the one. Still have my second gen one and adapter. Just a shame developers gave up on it because Microsoft killed it, removing it from the bundles. That for me was one of Microsoft's biggest blunders. Like the fact that they were forcing it to be bundled in meant that they realized how much potential it has. I mean, we've spoken about Microsoft's TV conference being shit, but not shit. It was the right moves in the wrong way at the wrong time. If they'd have done that 10 years later, Microsoft would have been perfectly on point. And Microsoft with Kinect were essentially toying with 3D/AR, whatever you want to call it, /VR, should I say, like years in advance. They were too soon. So yeah, by forcing it on people too soon, like TV, they got it wrong. But the logic is there. So Microsoft clearly have good thinkers. They just need to get thinkers that just need to be reined back a bit, which is what they've done. I mean, look at how good their thinkers have been. This E3 smashed it, and leading up to it, and the 24 months before it, genius. So yeah, nice. Okay, let's move ahead. Have you played PUBG with bots, Pip?
Yes, many times. That's the only time I get kills.
Well, good news that your chances for kills are probably going to be increased if you jump into Battlefield 2042. That is because EA has confirmed that Battlefield 2042 uses bots to fill servers, so your matches are always full. This is written by Yin-Poole at Eurogamer. The tagline says, rank and file. DICE has revealed new information about Battlefield 2042 and confirmed how bots work in the game. In a post on EA's website, DICE discussed the addition of AI soldiers to the series with Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 supports 128 players on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, whilst PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game support 64 players. As Eurogamer reported last week, Battlefield 2042 does not have a campaign. Do you know what? I completely missed that it didn't have a campaign. Yikes. Okay. I mean, to be fair, Battlefield, like same with any CODs and stuff. And do you know what? We'll leave it. That's not even the conversation. As a multiplayer only experience, it's important for us to let you play Battlefield 2042 when and how you want, DICE said. So in multiplayer, AI soldiers are used for server filling capabilities, ensuring your matches remain full no matter your location. Co-op lets you play together with friends against AI soldiers, and solo lets you play alone against AI soldiers, which suggests you can face off against 127 bots. Traditional series modes Conquest and Breakthrough return under the all-out warfare banner with a new squad-based mode called Hazard Zone, which is not a battle royale, due for more exposure further down the line. There is also a third, as yet undisclosed mode being made by DICE LA that's due to be shown off for the first time at next month's EA Play event. DICE and EA just held a Battlefield briefing on YouTube, which you can watch below. In it, community manager Adam Freeman speaks to DICE general manager Oscar Gabrielson and Battlefield 2042 design director Daniel Berlin on all the above. Adam Freeman, really good guy, by the way. Nice. We like Freeman. But anyway, Battlefield 2042 has bots.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, all I can say is PUBG's a trend, sir. Nice. That's what you think you love to see. What are your thoughts? Bots?
There's not enough people play Battlefield. Not enough people play PUBG. That's why they need bots in there. But anyway, yeah, I think they mentioned during the trailer, or someone mentioned during the trailer, and we've covered it before, that the story was going to be told through multiplayer. So if you didn't want to play against other people, you can just play them against AI bots, and then the story will be told gradually through multiplayer, even though you're playing against AI bots. But anyway, I wonder if skill-based matchmaking is scalable in this, because if say there was 124 people in there and you had, I don't know, 90 people, would the bots that were in there be hella shit, hella good, or somewhere in between? Will it scale depending on what rank people are in the lobbies? Like if me, you, I don't know, Tito and Asim jump into a game as a team, and then we was playing against
Sounds like
all
a
the
mighty
other
sexy
teams,
team, that, by the way, but just carry on.
there is a lot of sex appeal in that team. I was level 68, you was 23.
69. Oh.
Yeah, Asim was 50 and Tito was 1. Like, will the bots sorry, Tito, I've done you dirty there. Will the AI bots that were in there scale to our skill levels? I'm not too sure. I mean, I like the thought of them being in there to obviously keep the game going, because there's nothing worse than when people drop out and you're left with 2 people on your team. That's it in your squad, and then eventually someone will drop in when the gameplay filters them through. But having the bots automatically come straight into there, that'll be fantastic. But keeping the playing or the battlefield competitive and full is the best way to be able to try and make people play the game, because these games are like 40 minutes long, don't forget. Like, the Battlefield games are notorious for having more than your normal action shooter game time sink. Like what one game is 40 minutes. Like it's mental, but it doesn't feel like it's 40 minutes when you're in the middle of it all. But I just want to know whether or not the AI bots are going to be scalable depending on your team's level. Because if your team's pretty high up, and then so you'll get the good AI bots, but then the other team's really low, so they'll get shit AI bots. I don't think that'll necessarily work. It should be the other way around. Like we'd get shitter ones, they'd get better ones. I'm just interested to see how it all works and if it is scalable, depending on how good people are at the game. 'Cause I think that will be a massive benefit.
I assume, and could be massively wrong here, that will not be the case. And I only use that because of previous experience. So Fortnite, the bots are bots. They tend to disappear after you've hit a certain level, but or they try to make it so that they disappear. So you get a few more bots when you're in the lower level games, so that you've got the potential of getting some kills. So you're not just getting absolutely mutilated all the time. And then PUBG, the bots are the bots for everyone, regardless of your team's level. You could be absolute esports pros jumping in some casual games and come up against a bot that's just like purr, and unaware of where you are, or you could be beginners and coming up against the bots. The only time that changes is if you go into the ranked modes on PUBG. You just get no bots whatsoever. So it's public games, everyone gets the same bots. Ranked games, nobody gets any bots. So I would assume it would be that way. I don't actually know. Actually, what have I? Oh, actually, I wanted to click play on that one there. So I'm playing a video on screen at the moment. I wanted to play the trailer with Freeman. Do you know what? Maybe it's better. That's 50 minutes. Okay, let's go back to the other one. Oh, yikes. So, yeah, I imagine they won't change. I imagine it'll be one size fits all when it comes to the AI's level, which is good and bad. Like PUBG tried to make them, they tried to tick two boxes just like Fortnite did. PUBG made it so that lobbies get full quicker, so you have less time waiting in lobbies, but also made it so that new people have have the ability to use the functions of actually firing the gun in the game and potentially getting kills. And yes, hit and miss. Basically, the bots are shit. And they are incredibly shit to the point where it can be quite unimmersive. It takes you out of the game. It breaks the immersion that the game's looking for. Which has led to PUBG in this latest patch, which came out last week, to buffing the bots, which is catching people off guard because they see a bot, you can tell it's a bot with the way it moves and stuff. That's already a bad sign. If you can see it's not a person, you can see it's not a threat. Why is it there? So they're trying to fix that sort of stuff, but bots now have the ability to laser you. But bots aren't people. They just see code on a screen. So if you're stood through a penetrable surface like grass or whatever, physically unable to be seen, but physically able to be shot, then a bot can shoot you through that, whereas humans wouldn't see you, so wouldn't be able to shoot you. So the bots are essentially hacks. They've got wall hacks. So there's that kind of like balancey stuff, which is kind of a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't like the idea of scalable bots, but do at the same time. I don't like the idea that if I jump into a game with let's say Bibby's a level 2 and Tito's is level 1, Mr. T's a level 10 kind of thing, and I'm level 500 like I am on PUBG. If I jump in and the lobby looks at it and goes, okay, well, you got 3 that are below 10, so you're going to have level 8 bots kind of thing, and then I'm there like level 500 player, that would just kind of flatten it for me. Likewise, if it goes, oh well, we have to go off the highest base player in the party, you two are just going to get you three are going to get absolutely lasered by these like Terminator bots that just stop what the fuck up. I'm literally just, I've got my gun held backwards, the magazine's like in my pocket. I didn't realize I had to put it in the gun. I thought it just needed to be in the vicinity. And so there's all sorts of issues and stuff. Anyway, it sounds super negative in that sort of sense. I'm firmly on board with the idea of bots because they offer a function. I'm not on board with them when it comes to breaking immersion and ruining gameplay in that sort of sense. But you can get things that are out of a game's control. So Battlefield want to make a game, and they want to make it so that you play against people in your region, on your server, in your local area. That alienates ping, which means that you have a better experience. Jobs are good. But what if you live in a remote island in the Pacific. I don't know, anywhere in the world. Doesn't have to be the Pacific. And there is only 500 people within 1,000 miles of you that play this game, and they're not all on at the same time. Let's say you get 64 people, 68 people, 70 people, but you need 128. You've got to wait around for a long ass time, 58 more people to fill up in that lobby. Or it just throws in a bunch of bots in there. If you can do that, and those 78 people can jump in and get a game, maybe die and jump back in again or whatever, and their waiting times drop from 5 minutes to 30 seconds. That is huge in terms of getting people to play. If not, the alternative is, okay, well, those people either sit for ages, or you then merge them with people 6,000 miles away. People that are the complete far side of the Pacific. Maybe you going across land masses now to get other people, which adds shitloads of issues when it comes to ping. So yes, you got into a game really quickly, but you're getting lasered in every fight because the server now goes, okay, well, you guys, that 60 people that were in originally, you're all spread out quite far, whereas the other 60 people that we found are all in the vicinity of one server. So we've prioritized that server. They've got the ping advantage, and you guys just get shit on from a technical standpoint. Literally, you're in the game pulling the trigger, and before you're pulling the trigger, you're already dead because they've seen you drop shot and fucking pumped at 6 rounds into your face kind of thing. You don't know that. You think you're still being competitive, but no. So, yeah, don't mind the idea of bots. If it's just packing out servers, reducing loading times at silly o'clock at night for people that live in remote areas and stuff, that's perfectly fine by me. I know there's a lot of negativity around having bots in games, but to be fair, do we really expect to get many lobbies with many bots? I mean, I'm saying that we are privileged. We live in very urban Greater Manchester kind of thing. We're not going to get many bots in lobbies, at least not until this time next year. Battlefield comes out. Is it when is it? Sometime this year. Is it?
So late. Yeah.
Yeah, and end of the year ish. So Battlefield comes out this year. We're not going to have to worry about bots for 6 months minimum, kind of thing. So it's fine. It's good, nice. Okay, at least now they're thinking about how they not only protect the future for when players inevitably disappear, but also make it better for people that may not have that level of security and effortless play right now. So GG's. Nice. Okay. One more story, and this is one that we did mention before, which has added an update to in the chat, and that is that Cyberpunk is now back on the PlayStation Store. However, there has been 2 updates to this article. Let me just hit refresh, make sure there's not been an update on the update on the update. Nope, still just 2 updates. Nice. Okay, we'll jump into the article. We'll start off with the original story, then we will scale it back to pick off the updates. As always, anything with Cyberpunk, it's never straightforward. So the original story, you can now search for and find Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store. As spotted by IGN, CD Projekt's sci-fi adventure can now be found by manually searching for it on the PlayStation Store nearly 6 months to the day after Sony delisted the game due to technical issues. The store search thumbnail includes the phrase "just announced." Obviously, Cyberpunk is not just announced, but some are taking this development as evidence the game will soon return to sale on PlayStation. All you can do at present on Cyberpunk's store page is wishlist it or re-download it if you already own it. You can't buy it. There's an accompanying coming soon message. We've asked CD Projekt for comment. It's worth noting Sony will remove its dedicated web form for Cyberpunk refund requests on the 18th of June. Perhaps a big update is planned to come out between now and then, an update that would get the game into a state Sony is happy enough with. This was a tough decision for us to make. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan recently said of Sony's decision to pull Cyberpunk from sale in an interview with Axios Gaming. But ultimately, we had to act in the interests of the PlayStation community and not knowingly sell a game that might result in a bad experience for them. Do you know what? We'll leave that. We don't need to know about any future patches and stuff, so we'll go up to Update 1. CD Projekt has confirmed Cyberpunk 2077 goes back on sale on the PlayStation stores on the 21st of June. The company pointed Eurogamer to a regulatory announcement issued this evening that says CD Projekt publicly discloses the decision by Sony Interactive Entertainment to reinstate the availability of the digital edition of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store effective of June 2020, 21st of June 2021. CD Projekt declined to comment further. Sony has yet to make an announcement. And then Update number 2. Sony has warned Cyberpunk on PS4 will continue to suffer from performance issues even after it returns to the PlayStation Store, and suggested people play the game on the PS4 Pro or PS5 instead. Sony issued the following statement to Eurogamer this evening. Quote, Sony Interactive Entertainment can confirm that Cyberpunk 2077 will be relisted on the PlayStation Store starting June 21st, 2021. Users will continue to experience performance issues with the PS4 edition, while CD Projekt Red continues to improve stability across the platforms. Sony Interactive Entertainment recommends playing the title on PS4 Pro or PS5 for the best experience. So there you go. Is it really fixed? It just seems a bit bizarre to me.
Yeah.
So, update, says the tagline, back on sale 21st of June, but Sony warns of continued PS4 performance issues. So you can buy a broken game. Is that not what the problem was in the first place? I don't know. Maybe they've just fixed it for Pro and PS5, which is enough for PlayStation to greenlight. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Pip? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Again, this is a bit bizarre. There's no way that they can segregate the shops. So there's no way that they can just say this is only playable on PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5. There's no way that you're able to do that. So I don't know. I think they're just encouraging people to buy it and then end up getting refunds again. This game has been patched to a degree. It's still probably not an unplayable one. I think this is about a time where you usually dig out your copy that's still in its cellophane and say, I will wait until the PlayStation 5 version's available. But yeah, it just seems a little bit odd. Maybe they are trying to satisfy their shareholders by getting more money for it, because I can't imagine, well, they haven't been able to sell any apart from if they are physical since, when was it, December? So it's a good 6 months now that they haven't bought or been able to get any digital money for this. So yeah, it just seems a bit bizarre, but maybe it's in a little bit playable condition than it was previously. So that's why they feel confident that they're able to put it back on the store again. But PlayStation aren't giving them the time of day with that. Just saying, no, it's still not great. Just play it on your PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 Pro. Don't bother trying to play it on your PlayStation 4 because it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I bought the PS4 version and it's still in the cellophane wrapper, as you can see right now on the screen. I wasn't going to do it, but when Bibby said it, I reached over and grabbed it out of the drawer, which is probably why you heard me destroying the
Mine's on the top shelf up there.
Oh, we can see it.
I did install it originally, but then I kind of thought, do you know what? I'm happy to wait. I've got so many other games that I need to play. I'm happy to wait for this one and play it when it's actually meant to be played with what we was promised. And I mean, to be fair, even if the content is just a little stripped back, it's just the performance. Like if I'm playing a game at 60, I know that's generous. If I'm playing at 30, that's tolerable. If it drops down to like 12 or 13, it just takes me right out of it. And I just don't want that experience. I want it to be as good as, not necessarily that they promised it, but I know that it can potentially be. So I'm happy to wait.
Yeah, same. Have the game. It will remain in the drawer, in the wrapper, and it will stay there until we get the nod. So yes, it's available, but comment in the chat from Next Gen Base, it summarizes it. This just sounds like a kid bugging their parents and them finally giving in. Fine, we'll release it, but you shouldn't buy it. Exactly. That's the one. That's the one. And I can't tell you to buy it, and I cannot recommend buying this game because I have this game and I'm not playing it. So there you go. It's not being played. It's not being played. But you know, we're a step closer. The fact that they've got it to a point where Sony feels it's good enough that PlayStation 4 and 5 users, although only Pro 4 users, can play it. That we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I don't think it will ever be at the point where it's perfect. Not perfect, but great for PS4 users if this is the case, because it's just kind of one of those, like, how far can you strip it back? But it is what it is. But yeah, do you know what? We will keep you updated with how this advances. The gist of it is, in 5 days' time, you can play Cyberpunk on the PS4. Finally. It's up to you whether you take the risk of buying it. If you're getting a PS5, okay, fill your boots. It seems like that's going to be better. For me, though, still, I will sit on this. The fact that it's available does not change anything for me. That is the same game. When they give the PS5 enhanced performance updates, I will play at that point in time. And that is how I would recommend it for anyone else. If you're thinking about still buying it, don't. It's available. Just wait until you've got the nod. If it's PS5 enhanced, super ready version, fill your boots. Now it's no change. No change. The only difference
Not the time.
is now they have been given the permission to take your money off you, and that is the only difference. So there you go. Lake says, I saw both the trailers about the new Battlefield and I will not buy it nor even play it much. Way too disco party inside pinball machine action for me. I mean, it is kind of an assault on your senses, but that's kind of the fun with Battlefield as well. So, yeah. You can watch us play instead. Me and Bibb will play it for your viewing pleasure. Fill that.
Yeah.
Fill your boots. Nice. Not ads. Lake also said, I'm off to watch Pookie Party. Stay frosty. Thank you for being here, Lake.
Good luck.
Enjoy the watch. Enjoy watching Pookie Party. There you go. Fill your boots. Fill your boots. And on that, if anyone else wants to go to watch any other watch parties, now's a good time to get yourself set because we are done for the day. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all being here, as always. We do go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish on twitch.tv/AshtonUploads, bringing you the biggest, the best, and breaking stories, as we have just done. A little bit of a recap if you were late in. Disney was a bit cautious about working with Ubisoft for the Star Wars MMO game that will be coming next year-ish. PSVR 2 will be coming next year-ish, potentially. Battlefield 2042 will be coming this year-ish, but has bots in it. Not for bad reasons. And Cyberpunk 2077 is out in the next few days and is good to play. Ish. Lots of ishes. Fill your boots. So yeah, that's the recap for you. Just to let you know, there will be no stream in the afternoon today. There will possibly be a stream later on, late afternoon, evening-ish. Long story short, the weather is incredibly nice, and we have friends and family that we've not seen much of over the weekend because of the E3 stuff. So we are going to go spend some time in the sun and with friends and family. We recommend you do the same, unless you're watching the football. Then just chill out and do that too. But yeah, we could be back later on. I may jump on playing some PUBG. Probably not State of Decay, but Ads did ask when is that returning. That will be returning soon, Ads, because State of Decay is a really good game. It's just there's been so much to play with. PUBG, massive update, being good again. State of Decay being State of Decay, obviously is good, but then Knockout City coming along as well, and then there's Resident Evil Village thrown into that. It's just been, there's been a lot of games, and we've got quite a lot of games in, to be fair. It's just we need to save some time for all of them. So yeah, it will be coming back soon. Don't know when, but it will be just like the Master League, which has been coming back since December. So you know it is that too. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, we will drop off. We will raid someone else. Stick around for the raid so we can give some love to them. It's always nice. It's always nice. But before the raid happens, Mr. Bibb, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Yes. Again, thank you very much to each and every single one of you that have joined us for today and all of the E3 content, all of your subs, not to the guys that ended up following us from the follow raid. You guys can stay away, but it has tipped us over 2,500, so goal reached, I suppose.
We're over 2,600 at the
victory.
moment. We're 2,607.
It's a hollow victory, but a victory nonetheless. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m.-ish. We want you guys to help shape our show. I've just skipped forward like 3 sentences there. If you want to help shape our show, there's 2 ways you can do that. First of all, find us on social medias at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. If you want to get involved with our Discord, then you can do that. The links are in the chat. If you are watching this on demand, go into the description below. Everything that you need will be there. All we need from you is URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
I'm kind of thinking maybe 10 a.m. ish. So we go live at 10 a.m. ish. Each and every single weekday was like 11:30, quarter to 12-ish. I don't know, something like that today. It's fine. It's okay. We never promised anything different, but we do go live at 10 a.m. ish. Work comes first, and we fit in around that. But we still appreciate. Do you know what that makes us appreciate you guys even more? The fact that you are here, even though you don't know exactly when we're going to be live. But that's good because Twitch notifies it. If you aren't following yet, and you are a massive bot, then feel free to follow. Actually, you will have done that already because 100 feckers did that already today. But if you aren't following yet and you do want to follow the channel, then you will get notified by the notifications on your phone when we do go live. That's the best way of keeping in touch with us. If not, all the social channels and stuff that's linked in the chat that Bibb's already mentioned, you can find us on there and we will post out on Instagram and everything when we do go live. So make sure, if you aren't already, you follow us here and across social media. That way you don't miss anything. Nice. Okay, we will drop a raid on a friend of the channel because it's lovely to do that, and we will see you potentially this evening. If If not, definitely 10 a.m. on the money tomorrow morning-ish. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Enjoy the sun and the football and whatever else you're doing, unless you're Gagad, who's chained to his desk at work. Then you know what? Do you know, Gagad, enjoy the desk and the chains. We know you like the chains. Not like that. Calm down. Easy, tiger. Have yourself a good day. Stay frosty.